Okay, hello. I was planning to do a live weekend in 17, 18 December, but because of the corona and we have a lot of things we can't do and complicated, so we decided to postpone it to the 22, 23, 24 April in 2022. So it will be on my website. But instead of that live weekend, I've planned a Zoom weekend. So you can see it on my website. It's 2 afternoons from 2 till 5. And you're very welcome to join. We'll see what's going on then. Okay. Oh, so many people. I thought it was a weekend of Tony. Okay. I think this is it. Oh, there's somebody's. Wait. Please do your microphone off. Even kijken. Yeah, do it. Okay, yeah. So there will be. It's if you are not speaking, it's nice that you put your microphone off because there are a lot of background noises then. Okay, that's okay. So this is everything, and it's aliveness. Oh, there's already a chat. One moment. I always start with a little talk. I will do, and then I do that chat. There's just everything, or just. There is everything. It's only everything, of course, because everything is just everything. And everything is aliveness. Aliveness is what there is. So looking for aliveness sounds strange because it's already aliveness and it's everything. So it doesn't need to be very much energy. That's most of the time the misunderstanding. Aliveness can be sitting on the couch and just watching television, being angry, the couch. It's just everything. So there's nothing that isn't it. It's already here. So there's nothing to look for. The only looking is because there's a misunderstanding, there's something wrong. And that misunderstanding is really deep embodied. So there's a misunderstanding which is not only in the head and you can say, oh no, everything is all right and I'm okay and things like that. Because there's underneath, there's an embodied feeling, there's something not right yet. There's something wrong, there's something missing maybe. And it's so embodied that it's underneath and in everything. So it's an energetic thing. It's felt. It can be felt, or maybe it's not noticed. And so when there's enlightenment or know me, then that feeling of there's nothing, there's something missing, or there's something wrong, isn't there. So everything is the same. There's nothing changing in that sense of circumstances or feelings or anything. There's only not that embodied feeling it can be in a split second, that embodied feeling like, oh, there's something wrong. There's just that in that split second, in an awakening, there can be suddenly like, oh, this is it. It's just life. And it's very ordinary, very normal. And at the same time, it's glorious. It's just, wow, it's amazing. Like, because it's always when there's something not right yet, there's something in a cramp or something in like, oh, it's not right. And there's something like, oh, like that. And there's always something underneath. And there can be really much joy, but underneath that, there's still something going on. And sometimes it isn't there. Maybe there can be a lot of times of the day it isn't there. But it's so normal to feel that it's still not finished, or I don't have that know me yet, or something like that. And the misunderstanding is that is what is missing is that it's something. it isn't something because it's already everything. It can't be something. But when we're in the story and everything seems very real, you seem real, circumstances seems real, your body, the feelings, your thoughts, and it feels like it's my life, it's my thoughts, so I have to make it work. So then it seems like there's something not right yet, or I don't have a me, I still have a me, or something like that. So there's always something when finally there's an understanding or more clarity about, oh, of course there's no me. There still can be a subtle thing going on, like there's something missing or not right, but it's not even noticed. It can be like that. So can be very subtle, and it can be also very strong. And maybe in some subjects, it's like money or personal relationships can be more strong than in other circumstances. And what this message is saying, it's everything. It's already everything. So thoughts can happen. It's not your thoughts. It's just thoughts happen. It's just an energy what's going, and it comes and it goes. It's not your thoughts. You don't have to do anything with that. When thoughts are not there, it's not because of you. It's just, it isn't there. When there are circumstances, it's just circumstances. Nothing is real. That's also very strange. We are not used to that. We see everything as real. So when there's somebody saying nothing is real, it's only apparently real, you can't make an image of that, or you try to make an image of that and thinking like, oh, I don't have that, or I don't see that, or I don't feel that, or things like that. It has nothing to do with feeling or understanding. That's the strange thing. This message is about something else. It's not in the story. So when we are so used to think in the story and try to make it happen or not make it happen or things like that, then there's something going on like, oh, there's no clue, there's no hole, there's not something you can do or not do. And that feels a bit odd or maybe threatening, or sometimes it also feels like a relief that there's nothing to do. But it's not about nothing to do. It's about there's no one. So when there's no one, the whole identity is not real. There's no life of Rose. There's no Rose. There's just this face, and there's talking, and that's it. Nothing more than that. And this is not about the truth. Rose is not saying the truth or something like that. There's no truth. This is just describing what's happening. There are no answers. There are no problems. There's just what's happening. And that what's happening is life. And life is amazing. It's just amazing. Just life in everything. It's energy. It's not there's happening something. It's just energy. Like that. For no reason, going nowhere, it just is. That's the joy. It's like little children. They just move and do and not do and cry and just like that. For no reason, no purpose, nothing. It's just happening. And there's no one doing it already. That's it. Okay, so I see a chat going. So, hi Rose, when my child cries, for example, and I feel sad because of it, it's hard to say there's no cause and effect. It sounds then that natural non-duality is untrue. What am I missing? Yeah, all those questions about children. There's always an assumption that you are there, that you are someone, your child is someone. And there's a lot of times also relationships done because you feel like I have to take care of it, or if somebody needs something or child needs something. So when there's a child crying and there's feeling sad, there's no relation between that. And we are so used that there's always a relation. There's always, when there's something happening and I'm sad, that's because of that happening, because of that crying, for example. It's just one. So there's no time. That's also in some way we can understand there's no time, because on holiday you forget the time and you don't know what the time is and things like that. But when they're saying no time, there's also no before and no after. So there's just this. There's crying. And there's sadness. And there's no before. So there's just sadness. For no reason, you can imagine there's maybe that because of that, there's a memory of what happened. But there's just sadness for no reason. And when there's a reaction, there's doing something, then that's what's happening. And we think we have to do something. We have to make it right, because crying, that's something that's feels not right. So I have to do something about that. It's not saying don't do anything, because that people think, oh, it's crazy, because they say you don't have to do anything. When there's a child crying, there's just a child crying. That has nothing to do with this message. When there's a child crying, then that's it. And when there's some reaction, that's what's happening. It's not your reaction. It's that, or there's no reaction. It can be like that. It's just happening. It's not your reaction. And we are so into I am doing that. That's because of me that I'm going to the child or things like that. So this is not saying you have to do this, or you say to yourself, oh, there's no cause and effect, because that's just a concept or belief or things like that. That has nothing to do with this. It's much more simple. It's just what is happening already, and there's nothing wrong. And for a mother, that can be amazing, because like every mother, there's something going on, like, oh, I have to do the right thing. I have to, that it's feeling good, or and there are a lot of rules there. That's the taking care. There's a lot of rules or a lot of things like going on, like, how do you say, conditions. Because I have to make somebody feel right or good. That's about, you can have it with a child or with a partner or something that's going on. We call it love, but it's conditional. And this is saying, no, there's just what's happening. It's not right or wrong. It's not nice or not nice. It has nothing to do with being good. It's just describing. And when there's no reaction, it's not wrong. There's just no reaction. It didn't come. It's like that. That's it. Isn't reaction an effect? Reaction, yeah, the word reaction seems like an effect, but there's just what's happening. That's maybe a better word. So there, yeah, when you say reaction, it seems like it's an effect on action. So that the word is not really to the point. So it's more like that's just what's happening. And it seems like a reaction. Maybe that's better said. Another. The illusion is working really hard to make us believe there's cause and effect. Yeah, but we are raised into that. So it's so normal. It's so everything, when everything is real, you see it as real. When there's someone, that suddenly everything is real. So that's the missing. That there's, before that, in the story, there's just energy, like babies or really little children. There's just energy. They don't see people or something like that. It's just energy. And when that suddenly the brain is sophisticated enough to just abstract and see like, oh, there's someone in here, there's somebody coming, and there's something like that, then suddenly everything is real. So that just everything is energy, it's just the freedom. And then suddenly everything is solid and real, and there's a subtle feeling like, there's something missing. There's something, what is it? And it seems like, oh, it's because of a lot of beliefs, it's my fault, it's the fault of, how do you say, the church can say that. So there's something gone wrong. It's maybe my fault or something like that. So I have to make it right. And it's not really in the mind, but it's so embodied. And there's something going on underneath. Look in the world. Everything is trying to make it better because it's not right yet. It's already what it is. It's just what it is. There's nothing wrong. It can be a feeling of pain. Pain is not wrong. It's just pain. But there's so much around that, trying to avoid pain because that trauma of there is something gone wrong, and that can be really, really strong. So there's the moving away in the story sometimes, like, trying to feel okay and avoid pain. When that whole system of surviving is just gone and not there anymore. It's just, it's just pain. And it's not that you say to yourself, oh, there's nothing wrong. No, that's just a concept. It's energetic. When really something is lost, it's energetic. It's not only with me, but when some beliefs are lost, it's energetic. It's not only that you know. Knowing is just superficial.
Berta, you haven't unmuted.
Sorry.
Oh, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say something. Okay, I'll try again.
Again.
The system of survival you're mentioning seems for me to be so present at the moment, since my country, Germany, decided 3 days ago to change the regulations to vaccination, and they want to force everybody into vaccination, and also renew every vaccinated person every 9 months for a booster, and or even earlier. And this is a duty then, and if you don't do it, it's illegal, and you have to pay something, or I don't know, they don't know yet what they want to do then. And it seems so threatening because so unfree, no choice. And so all of my survival system is alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it seems no way out. Yeah.
Because there seems to be a freedom in choice now. And then it's like, oh, there's no choice. There's already no choice. You don't know what's going to happen. Maybe there's something going on in your arm or not. I don't know. We don't know. But we are so into, I have a choice and it's my life, so I do it in my way, something like that. That there is already no choice. It's just what is happening, and it's not your body, your life. That can be very strong. And then when then there seems to be somebody deciding something about you or something like, it seems like, oh, what's going on here? And then it's suddenly very clear that it's so strong feeling that it's your life and your body and your decision or things like that. There's no your life. There's even the body is apparent. That's crazy because it's so real. It's so all day long with you or something like that. It's always there. It seems so convincing that it's solid and you have to take care of it. That's not only with the body, but with your life or with things like that. And when they're saying there's just what's happening, it's in the mind you can understand like, oh yeah, that's okay. But then suddenly there's coming something like, you have to do that, otherwise it's illegal or something like that. Oh, and then suddenly it becomes very clear that that's so strong. And there's maybe some feelings, but we think that there's that feeling of, I don't know what a feeling is, but when there's a feeling about that, it seems like it's about that and there's a feeling. That's the same what we are talking about. It's like a reaction, or it's like, oh, there's something going on and I have a reaction. No, there's just that feeling. That's everything. That is the everything. A feeling. There's no world. There's no one outside deciding things, or that's the dream. That's just what's happening. Maybe a feeling. That's it. There can be a feeling or thoughts, anything. It's much more simple, much more close, you could say. We're so into the story, like what's happening over there.
Yeah, there's so much in the story. Yeah. In the story.
Yeah, that's how we live. That's the normal thing normally. And then suddenly somebody like me or somebody else is talking about, there's just this. There's no outside world. There's no outside. Then suddenly it becomes very obvious, because then because of those, how do you say, those rules or measures, or how do you say it? It's suddenly like, oh, feeling threatened and like, oh, and then it's suddenly so clear that it's still there. It's just there. And then that can be there. It's not, there's nothing wrong or something. It's just, ooh, like that. Or I don't know. Yeah. But it's just, ooh, nothing more than that. And can be very strong, of course.
Yeah, because it's a feeling that around you is this idea of betterment in doing this and that, and you cannot have a decision what is good for you.
Yeah, that's very threatening, because when you see it's my life and I want to have my freedom of my own decisions, that what normally we do, and then suddenly there comes something else, and it's like, oh, yeah, sure. And it's not about wrong or right. It's about, oh, like, there's that.
Yeah, and it feels like an attack on my health and my body and my freedom and everything.
Yeah.
Never have imagined my country behaving like this.
Yeah, but it's a story. It's a dream. And that can be very strong, because we're living in that story and about what's going on and decisions, and if I want to have freedom. There is only freedom. It's not what you want. That's something else. That's some misunderstanding about. It's my life and I want to have my own decisions. And then there's something going on, like, oh, and then then the problems start, you could say, because there's always something not right or missing, and thing. I have to think about what shall I do or not do, or
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, yeah. Yeah. There's just this. There's just sitting like this. That's everything. There's nothing more than that. And there's another feeling, or looking at the television, looking at the screen. That's everything. There's nothing more than that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And in the same time, oh, 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 my back.
What happened?
Yeah, there was something in the back, like pain.
Oh.
Yeah, it's already
Mm.
gone.
Sorry.
Suddenly, yeah, so much pain. No,
Oh, sorry.
no, but there was some this morning in the story. This morning, there was something happening. There's a lot of things happening in the body, so it's relaxing, but that's so painful. It can be so painful for me. For this is very painful. The relaxing now.
So there always can something
It
happen
can
in
be.
the body.
Yeah, yeah, and it's in the same. That's just a story, and that's when there's just pain, and that's in this. There's the story, and then there's explaining what's going on with Rose, and in the same time, nothing did happen. There's just sitting here. That's it. Pain. There's a memory. There's just a memory of pain. There's there, but it's already different, and that's what happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Thank you.
Yeah.
There is
Hi,
another.
Rose. Hi, Rose.
Oh. Hello.
Rose, sorry, there is a chat between.
Oh, a chat. Oh, sorry. At
At
first I
first.
do the chat. What about apparent growth? When I look back on how I was a year ago compared to now, I see I deal with some things much more better than I did before. Yeah, I know. That's in the story, because when there's someone, it's always like growing, or it's going better. Sometimes it's not, of course, but it's always comparing with maybe with earlier or with other people or in circumstances. And because of that, there's something like hope that maybe in someday it will be even more better, or it will be much more relaxed, or things like that. That's the story, because we are so convinced there's somebody there, and it's your body, and it's always there. So there is a past, and in the past it was like that because there's a memory. So you're feeling like the memory is real. So there was really something going on a year ago. What is a year ago? It's just a memory. There is no year ago. There's just this. There's only this. So there's no hope for better. There's no need for hope, because this is everything. It's just aliveness in that. And comparing is always like a little bit like, now it's going better. Oh, today, now it's not that good. And it's always comparing. It's always looking at itself like it's going all right. Because when it's feeling more relaxed, it's better than when it's feeling tense or angry, things like that. So there's always a comparing, like, oh, this is better than that. Nothing is better than anything else. It's just different. It can be anger. And then it's gone, or something else. It's just an energy like that. Not for a reason. We're so into reason. There's no reason. It's just happening by itself. Or not. Not because of you're not able to do it. That's what we do. We explain everything. It's just, what is explaining? It's trying to make it something you can believe or you can do something with. There's no reason. There's just what's happening, and we try to understand. Because when you understand, it's more safe, or it's more, you can deal with it. You don't have to deal with anything. It's just tension, pain, the table. Nothing more, nothing less. When there's no one, there's also no awareness. There's no looking at it. So there's nothing going on like, how did I do that? Or should I do it better? Or what did I do yesterday? Oh, was it right? Things like that. That's part of the awareness. It's part of the me survival system. When that survivaling and that me is not there, it's just what's happening. And it's already that. It's already this. And it's not all the time like, it's a wonder, but in a subtle way, it's joy. It's like, oh, it's just, and not all the time, of course, but it's just subtly there. That's just life. It's not my joy, it's just life. In any way, it can be in ugliness or in joy or in table or in dirt.
Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
A moment ago, you had some pain, and you moved, and the pain was lessened by it. And Bertie was saying about Germany, and talking that it was a painful situation, what was going on, whether we see that as a story or not, that it caused her some pain, and it seems that she had the option to say, yes, it's a story, there's no outside world, but she also, there's the option, she could decide, or a decision could be made, however you want to say it, to join with other people to protest about the situation, that this isn't right. And so this isn't a call to be passive, just as you moved to where when you had the pain, Bertie may move to do something practical about the situation in Germany that she was describing.
Yeah, but that's a story. So when there can be moving, but that the moving is it also. So then when you say there is going to be a protest, that seems like a story. So there's no movement.
Surely it's no more.
Everything can. Yes. Everything can. It's not about not doing anything. No, yes. Of course, no.
So that story of Bertie doing something about it, to protest or to try to change it, that would be the same as you preparing to have another Zoom thing next week or whatever.
Yeah, but there's no one doing it. Huh?
Yes,
that's the only that's what's going on. And for the rest, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah,
yes,
sure.
I understand that. It was just the thought that you could see. It's possible to see what you were saying as a way of being passive.
Oh. I'm only saying there's just what is. Yes, and that has nothing to do with active or passive. No.
No. So it seemed like that it was a call to Bertie to I know you're not. It's not a word you like, but it's like to accept the situation, or that everything's okay, and there's nothing to do. Maybe there is something to do.
That's not what I'm. Yes. I can't remember so much what I said, but that's not what I'm saying. Okay. No, of course not. No.
Yeah. So anything can happen.
Accepting.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. You don't know what's going. Yeah, but when they're saying there can be a protest, that's a story. It's much more like, oh, there's moving, and that's it. And and that can be, and in moving, it's just what's happening. That moving of that back when there was pain, and that I didn't even notice, but that's just what's happened. Yeah. That's the same. Yeah, sure.
So Bertie may find herself moving to organize something about this as well.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything can. Anything
Yes.
can.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
So when you talk about pain, right? The experience of pain is that pain is happening to me. Pleasure is happening to me. So when you talk about table is there. Okay. Table is not me. So nobody has to teach me that the pain is mine. Even the child, by exploring the world, now it knows that, the pain is happening to me, whether it has a language or not. Pleasure is also happening to me. So there is an illusion of I, whether you call it as illusion or whatever. There is a feeling of I. Okay, I am here and the world is there. Table is there, but the pain is happening to me. Okay, so
That's what we think. Yeah.
yeah.
That's what you think. Yeah.
So
And it's not that I'm here and the table is there. It's even not like that.
yeah, but there is a basic difference between feeling the pain and then seeing the table. Right? Table is there.
Yeah.
Now I see that
Yeah.
table is. Whereas
And there can be pain.
I go and touch the flame. And the flame,
Yeah. Yeah.
my finger, my finger,
Yeah.
when my finger contacts the flame, I feel pain, whatever that I is. That so
Yeah.
similarly, I taste something, I feel the pleasure. Okay, that nobody taught.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to ask, how can you equate? In the appearance there is a difference actually. The appearance.
Sorry, what? That last I couldn't understand. How can?
Okay, what I'm saying is, in the appearance itself, if we say that pain is also an appearance and table is also an appearance, there seems to be a difference between pain and table. I'm not able to equate both of them. Oh, similar to table, pain is also there. Not pain is not out there. Pain is to me. So
No, yeah, but it's the same. It's the same, but we see it as different because we think that pain is happening to me because it seems like it's in the body and it's my body and it's inside that body there is pain, so it's my pain. That's very normal thinking. So this is completely out of that. It's just energy. Everything is energy, and pain is energy. Table is energy. It's different, that's sure, but that's it. There's no one, and that's the the point that we're so not even convinced. It's more than that there's someone there, and normally it's also I'm in the body somewhere. So everything is happening to me, and then when that's going on, then everything is important because then circumstances become important because then they can cause pain or joy or anything. So everything seems to be important then. When there's no one, when there's no center, nothing is important anymore. That's strange because in life, in normal life, everything is important and about how can I deal with everything or live my life. Pain is not for someone. Pain is just pain somewhere. It's not even in the body. It's somewhere in space. But we think it's in our body.
No, see, when pain happens, in fact, I get the feeling of I at all. I'm just assuming that a small child which is moving around and then, suddenly it touches a flame, there is a pain. With that pain, the I also comes. I mean, nobody has to teach the child that this is your body and you are getting pain. Okay. We are using the language to express it, but the illusion of I itself happens. I develop the illusion of I because these feelings, feel very personal, right? Somebody else is teaching, somebody else tasting the food. I am not getting the taste. when I taste the food, I am getting the taste. And then, so with these experiences, like, I am the pain and the taste creates, and we pain and the taste creates me, the experience me.
No, it's not creating me.
Uh,
No, taste is just taste.
creating
But
the illusion of
on
me.
top of it, that whole survival system of me is adjusting something like, oh, me is feeling that, of me is tasting. It's just taste. It's just an energy of taste, of bitter or something. And then on top of it comes, when there's me on top, it's me. I'm tasting it. And that can fall
So
away.
when you are
or
saying
be
that when
there.
the survival system is not kicked in, are you saying that
It's not what?
No.
The
When
survival system is not, I didn't hear it.
yeah.
What do you say?
You are saying when the survival system kicks in, the feeling of I happens, right? So if survival system doesn't kick in, will the taste and table are they the same? Will my pain and the table, are they the same?
They're different, of course, but it's just energy. It's energy.
Right. So what I'm asking is people talk about, okay, you may not be talking about it, some other non-dual context. People talk about raw experience versus interpreted experience, right? The raw experience.
Raw experience, yeah.
Yeah, raw experience. The raw experience is an uninterpreted experience. So it's like I will see colors, but I may not see, they say objects. Now I may not recognize, okay, this is TV, this is the wall, etc., etc. There is a color appearing, and there's pain appearing. So will you differentiate between a raw experience and we attaching meaning to it? We attach, this is pain, I need to avoid, this is pleasure. I get pleasure in tasting this, I get pleasure in relationship. Then we create meaning. All these things are happening in our mind. So if you cut off all those interpretations, is that called raw experience? Meaning I am experiencing taste, I am experiencing pain. So is there anything, will you say that is there anything called raw experience?
No. Yeah, there can be, but that's me experiencing raw experience. It's me. It's just me. It's that's not wrong, but it's me. Because when there's no me or that whole survival thing, it's just not there. There is just taste. There's just bitterness, or tasting bitterness, something like that.
Okay, so
there's nothing going on about this is raw or this is interpretation.
Okay.
There's no experience. There's no one experiencing it. It's just bitterness.
So I feel terminology seems to be different. Meaning what I'm saying is what other people call as raw experience. You don't call it as an experience. But I think you would call it as an appearance, okay? Because you don't want to. You don't want to express any me. Raw experience also has to happen to some awareness.
Yeah. So, to somebody.
Some awareness. So it has to happen. I may say that okay, the awareness is I'm saying the pure awareness experience, raw experience.
But that's a lot of words about that. And that's what me normally does. It tries to make it like, oh, it's only a raw experience. So it makes it more simple or more nature or something like that. And that's what the me does. It makes it something. And this is much more simple because there's no need to call it something. That's why it's so difficult to say how it is. But how can you say what is sensing? How can you say that? It's already gone. So how can you say what's happening? It's already something else. So, but you don't need to say it because it's just that and that's it. And it's gone and then something else is going. And so there's no need to try to give it a name or try to describe what's that and what's something else. Because you can't say how it is. It's too simple. And when there's talking and language, it's always about two. It's always trying to describe something that happened. So there's describing what's happened. So it's always two in language. So we can speak about this and saying what it's not and talk around it and trying to tell about, but really what is going on, you can't say. You can't tell.
So in the simplest form, will you call it as all happening appearances, etc.?
Yeah.
So
you can't say that.
See, suppose, even the appearances and happening, I am sitting here and saying that, no, I am experiencing time and say that, oh, this is happening. And I am experiencing space, this is a appearance. So even though it looks like as if I am telling I'm not including awareness into picture, but when I talk about appearance and happenings, still there is a recognition about, okay, this is an appearance, this is a happening. So if I don't, if I keep it very simple, it is like I am in the, when I am in sleep, I neither recognize me nor recognize any happening. Nothing is happening. Okay, there is nobody there. So when we moment we talk about appearances and happening, don't you say that there is somebody recognizing an appearance, somebody recognizing a happening.
But the body is also an appearance. So there's no hurry. There's no identity. There's no hurry. There's just sitting. That's everything. There's no past. There's just that sitting. No one inside. It's not nobody doing that or trying or anything.
Assume that I have become, just for the thought experiment, I have become numb. Okay, so I don't feel the body, so I don't call it as my body, but I look at it. Okay, there is a table here, there is a body here, there is something else. So I look at all of it. Okay, but this appearance, when we talk about the
that's the appearance,
the appearance. So the appearance, is it not happening to somebody?
No.
Meaning,
no.
Even to call
no,
us
because there is no one. That's the most difficult part. There is already no one. It's just empty. The body, what we see only the front. And then we think, oh, we know that there's a whole body with things in it and me in it. It's so normal. I don't see it. It's just the front. That's everything. But we assume, and that's not, it's more than assuming, it's so embodied. It's so normal that it's happening to me. Or the appearance, we understand there's an appearance, so okay. But when it's talking about everything is an appearance, so there's also no Rose or Harry, that they are not there. There's no identity, there's no one, there's nothing. It seems to be everything like bodies and tables, but it's an appearance, so nothing is real. Oh, what's going on here?
So for a moment, if we only talk about appearances and happenings,
it's not a real appearance means that it's not real. It's not
appearance
real.
means it is not real. So
it's only apparent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does appearance create time? Does appearance create space and happening creates time?
No, it's time. That's me. There's just an appearance of things and bodies and so, and then there's yeah, that abstract mind, you could say, in the story, it's like trying to explain it. It's making time, because that's when there's just nothing going on and everything is appears. It's like, oh, and there's still the feeling like, oh, there's someone. When there's feeling someone, it feels like that's steady, or that's always there, or something like it's solid. So then it's creating time, because that's a hold that gives a bit hold of taking care and making control of controlling your life, or controlling events or things like that. It's a dream, but it feels very real. So we're trying to make everything more in your hands, of more control. And then we have a lot of things, knowing and time, and that's what's me does. Me, the abstract mind, you could say, the survival system. Naming it. And when they're talking about, oh, that's all not real, it's like, oh, I'm not standing on stable ground anymore. Maybe I don't exist. Oh, it can be like that. Or maybe it's a relaxation, but most of the time it's like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I'm not existing. Come on. That's something else. Talking about appearances, that can be like, okay, that's an appearance, and the table is an appearance. But I'm not existing. Whoa, that's something else. But that's also about that. There's no one.
So even if we call it as a dream, it is a dream for nobody, like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hi, Rose.
Hello.
Hi there. I think when I look back, or when the apparent me looks back and thinks further into the seeking, in this kind of scenario, I would have had many questions. And now a lot of the time, with this kind of talk and with this more direct approach to non-duality, I find myself quite kind of without questions. And with that, I think there's a sense of feeling a bit adrift, a bit lost at sea, and confused. And I think because there's a residual sense of me, there's someone, or a feeling that there's someone wants to do something with that. And I suppose even that's not a question for you. I more just wanted to say it out loud in some ways. There's not even anyone else I can kind of talk to about it in my daily life. So it's just put that out there. But
And the funny thing is always that when there's some feeling of loss, of something like a drift, or it's just that feeling. And we're making something like, oh, what is going on with me? But there's just that feeling, and maybe there's suddenly walking and drinking coffee, and then or maybe that feeling or something else. It's that. It's not that, oh, and now I'm losing it. That's what we make of it. Something like that. And it's just, and then there can be those thoughts, of course. And it's very, only that. It's that feeling. It's not. And then, because we make something, sometimes I feel, oh, I feel so lost, and oh, I don't know, what's going on. But it's just that we make, I feel lost of something like that. It's just when there's only that feeling, you can't even give it a name sometimes. Maybe that can be scary too, but there's some feelings are mixed. You can't even name, or it's like, oh, and something, and then suddenly it's something else. And we're so used to give it a name or try to do something with it. And when that's trying to do something with it, that's more the thoughts coming. Then there's thoughts coming. It can be still here too. There can be thoughts like that. Yeah.
There's
But
a
it's
sense
so. Sorry?
I was just going to say, even when you're speaking, then there is a sense where there's a part of a parent me that's thinking, okay, when those feelings come up, I'll just accept them. But again, I'm making it into a, and so it's always, I'm going to end up in this endless loop of, oh, well, I'll just accept that. I'll just accept this thought because there's, I guess, something.
Yeah, but it can't be different. So then that's what's going on. You can't say, oh, I don't need to accept or something like that. That's weird. When you feel like there's some thoughts and I have to accept, oh no, it's not like that, then that are the thoughts. It's just me fighting it or something like that. So what? That's just that energy. It's going. Has nothing to do with someone, but it's an energetic thing that's going on. It can't be wrong, of course. It can't be not. It's already complete. It's already complete. Having thoughts like that. That's not yours. It's just, thoughts are just energy. Part of that going on, like, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. It's already everything. It's already what's happening. So when there are a lot of thoughts, then there are a lot of thoughts. It doesn't need to go. Nothing needs to go. And when there's a feeling like it has to go, then there's a thought, then that's what's happening. So it can't be wrong. It can't be not yet there, because there's nowhere to go. It's already what is happening. That's life. Everything is life. Everything. So thoughts, feelings, table. And there's just a difference. There's no outside. There's no inside. That's crazy. Then there's just what's happening. Not for anyone, not to anyone, just what's happening. And there's just life. And when it's seen like, oh, but it's happening to me, I feel, and I'm so convinced it's happening to me, then that's what's going on. that's life, full on. It's just like, oh, it's happening to me. That's life full on like that. That's complete. That's the completeness already. So it can't be not it. It's already what's going on, what's happening. Everything is it. The way it's looking, the thoughts happening, thinking, I am not there yet. It's everything. Nothing is excluded. That's the freedom. It's everything. It's literally everything. So it's already what's happening, what's not happening. It seems like there's not happening, but it's everything is it. And if there's doing, or there seems to be doing, then that's it. Or is there, I don't see a parent, so what? It doesn't matter, because it's just what's happening. When there's seeing it's solid, that's it. So what? Nothing is special or not special or important. It's just nothing has any meaning. So it doesn't matter if it's seeing appearances or not seeing appearances. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. That's the freedom. That's the joy that nothing matters, that nothing has any meaning. It's just life, and it's an appearance, so nothing is happening. That's the joy. It's glory. It's just amazing. And glory doesn't mean it's pew, pew, pew. It can be very much into no energy. That's the same thing. It's just different. Everything is just unique. It's just unique, different. That's it. Nothing more important than anything else, of course. That's the joy. That's the freedom. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Great.